something like that. I ain't familiar with the math, but
the three groups of 33, so equal up to the 99 names of Allah.
But to me, when you hit them, it don't matter how many bees. It can be, you can have 5 bees. Then to me, that's turning the wheel of the dharma. That's it. You can start there, and then if you want to get elaborate, you can get 200. 200 said, 108. All these different numbers. But really, just one. Just one will do it. I'm doing so much because I haven't found that one yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you mentioned the dharma. What exactly is that?
I'll let the shake.
No, go ahead. Teach on the dharma.
I mean, just the dharma is the right teachings, the right concepts. The right path, right concentration. All of these are dharmic. Are turning the dharmic wheel. Just being on the right path, being on your deen. That's dharma in essence. That's a living teaching, not just specific rules or guidelines in which you are to live your life by. It has to be a living teaching. You need a living shape. Yeah, I battle with that, because I was the one like Ravana tried to lift the mountain of Shiva, and got my arm crushed.
But she was trying.
Right, yeah. That's why I mentioned the story about Eclevate, Yeah. So I battle with that, the shape, the guru, concept, but it's there for a reason. It's ancient, from time immemorial. When the teachings were first taught, it was taught from teacher to student. Right. Any movie you watch, you had Yoda, and then you had Luke Skywalker. You can watch Hollywood and give you the formula.
Right.
It's there. You have a child. You're your child's first teacher. You teach your son.
What was that? Wax on, wax off?
Yeah.
I don't want to wash the car. I have to wash the car.
Right.
Things you don't know.
Right. Or understand. But you just practice for the love of the shape, the love of the teacher. Then until it hits,
Bro, like, just sitting here feels so surreal.
There's some definite processes and practices, I guess, without going into great detail, but the Sheikh always talks about people get into, certain groups and brotherhoods or whatnot, and they want to have this super mystical experience, and they want it right then and there.
No, you gotta take time for that.
Gotta take time.
You can't cook a turkey in the microwave.
It's different experience for different people.
Right.
Because you may have an experience right away. Somebody else may take 30 years.
Right.
So it's depending on your journey.
Yeah.
But what I will say is that most of the time, when I find that people meet Sheikh, it's at a crossroads in their life, and it's like he helps to elevate you out of that crisis.
I don't think I'm at the crossroads. I don't want to be, but
I was.
Meaning something that you couldn't necessarily get yourself out of.
Okay.
That you need guidance. You okay, I'm gonna give you an example.
Yeah.
I'm a feisty. So I had a court case. And I was fighting them, but they were kicking my behind. And I was fighting them. I still was fighting them. I don't care if they kicking my behind. I still was fighting them. And then they're not even real.
It's not to say court case, so I got one coming up for.
Yes, this is what I'm saying. So that's what I mean, crossroads. When I say crossroads, it's something is to happen that you're going to need the backative of knowing that this is not reality, it's illusion. So don't let it take a pound of flesh away from you. Don't let it put you in depression. Don't let it take you off your path.
Okay, yeah, you're right, because it's funny, my mom told me the same thing, like, because after the incident happened with the officer, I saw him again about a couple months later, and I had, like, you ever seen somebody that you hold a grudge against and you get mad, like, right off the bat? and you want to go after them like you don't care, like you get that full suicidal thought.
Mhm.
Yeah, like
I wanted to kill my judge. I said I'm gonna murder her. And then guess what? She turned out to be the gatekeeper. If I didn't get past her, so now I respect her.
Right.
I'm like, man, it was necessary to polish me, to get me prepared for whatever's next. But I didn't like her. I was like, I hate her. Why is she doing this to me? I hate her. But I was like, oh, if I never faced off with her, I would have never known my true self. I would have never known my true beliefs. I would have never known how strong I am, or how focused I can get.
Because it's funny that you said that, because I have people that I would go to and talk to for advice, and another one of my friends, she's like, that was really just a test for you to show unconditional love, no matter what they did to you. I'm like, bro, now she looks at it, I've never really looked at it like that.
Mm.
And then my mom said, like, don't allow that negative or ungodly circumstance to take you off of what you're on.
So I mean, do you battle with things like the depression,
Yes.
anger issues?
Yes.
Okay.
So that's what I was saying. Most people that I've witnessed
I got you.
have been at a cross. That's what I meant by. I don't know if I
I got
take
you. Nah,
a crossroads meaning like
cross
something that
halfway house, whatever. Like,
that
nah.
you.
That's not. But like, yeah,
Internal
like,
struggles.
yeah, that's
some
that's
people
what
have
I'm
chemical imbalances. Some people, have anger issues, aggression, ODD. They're defying against authority. Those certain type of behavioral traits that they say from the DSM-5 that they're chemical. You feel me?
Okay.
Deficiencies. I just asked because I sense that spirit.
Yeah.
The only way I can sense.
You've been there.
Exactly.
Yeah. So when he said Allah is the only reality,
Yeah.
we all are you. So when you look at me, you look at you.
And that's like this. They told me, they said, man, you a glass door with a glass peephole. With the right eyes, right trained eye, you seen straight through. Wrong eye, the closed eye, they don't see nothing. But the right eye, ain't nothing hidden. Just like with God, where can you go to hide from God?
That's a stupid question. Nowhere.
Facts. He owned it. He owned it.
I don't know. But yo, thank y'all.
Once you start the chanting of La ilaha illallah,
Yeah.
it will raise your vibration to whereas if you would be like walking on water, because 99% of the problems we face only exist in our mind and in our viewpoint.
You do me a favor. You get him a prayer for a beat, and when we get back to the home, I will reimburse you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there two different sets up there from like a dark brown and a black package Japan set? So you have a couple options to choose from.
Brown or green.
Well,
Alright. Al-Fatiha. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahmanir Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdina siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta alayhim. غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين لا إله إلا الله 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 ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah, ilaha illallah, la 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 ilaha illallah, ha illallah, la ilaha 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 illallah, ha illallah, la ilaha 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 illallah, Allahu la ilaha illallah, 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 Allahu la ilaha illallah, 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 Allahu la ilaha illallah, 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 Allahu la ilaha illallah, 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 Allahu la ilaha illallah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. We are live at Homeland Village in Macon, Georgia. We have met beautiful souls, beautiful people here, and a new brother who's reading the book Branches of Wisdom. What part were you reading just now? What part was that?
You're talking about
La ilaha illallah?
Yeah.
What is
read the paragraph or?
yeah.
Alright. La ilaha illallah. There is only one being in existence. Allah the only one. Allah exists before the before and after the after. Without time or space, without a second existing with Allah. Allah is all. There is no you and no I that has real being existence with Allah. Allah is all.
This is the meaning of La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah. Allah is the only reality. God is the only being that exists. And what the people of the Bifal path say that La ilaha illallah is the beginning of the journey. Is where you start, but they also say that La ilaha illallah is the ending of the path. La ilaha illallah goes along with the 7 chakras. I don't know if you heard of the 7 chakras, but you got La ilaha illallah. 7 syllables in La ilaha illallah. 7 chakras, 7 levels of the soul, 7 verses of Al-Fatiha, even 7 states of consciousness and 7 levels of the heavens are all found inside of this La ilaha illallah. It would be very difficult to find a prayer more effective for realization than La ilaha illallah, because La ilaha illallah has a yin and a yang. It has the La ilaha is a yin energy saying no. The illallah is a yang energy saying yes. So this La ilaha illallah is saying no, nothing exists. And the illallah is saying other than Allah, other than God. So in order to reach self-realization, God realization, enlightenment, nirvana, in order to reach these states of oneness with the divine being, you have to go through what we call a purification process. You have to purify the mind, the heart, and the soul. The mind must be purified of all negative thinking, all thoughts of lack, all thoughts of doubt. We say in the Sufi path, if you doubt, you're out. The key to being a master is to master your thoughts and your thinking. A guy say, I want to stop drinking alcohol. Well, you ain't going to stop drinking alcohol if you don't stop thinking about the alcohol. As soon as you can get that thought out of your mind, there's no more addiction. So if you want to master your reality, you first have to master your thoughts, then your words and your actions. A master is a master of thoughts, words, and actions. But this La ilaha illallah, you ever have to sweep your kitchen and you got like dust or dirt on the floor?
Yeah.
You got to sweep the kitchen. We have so much dirt and dust and clutter in our minds from worldly existence that we can't even think straight. We can't even have a clear thought. So when you're saying La ilaha illallah, it's like sweeping your mind. It's like sweeping the floor, cleaning the cobwebs. That La ilaha illallah is cleaning everything out of your mind that's not supposed to be there other than Allah. So once you sweep the mind, La ilaha illallah, clean the mind. Now it can get kind of detailed because you got the conscious mind and the subconscious mind.
Right.
So over time, this La ilaha illallah will clean the desktop and the hard drive. It cleans the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. And you'll know that it's cleaning the subconscious mind once you start hearing the la 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 going by itself. These beads are just, the beads are like, you know how you, who was that? Murid. So the beads we use is like jump starting the car. These beads are creating an electrical current going from here. I read into a few Hindu gurus in my life, and the people of Ayurvedic medicine have studied the entire nervous system, and they say there's a nerve ending right here in this finger that goes from here directly to the heart. So when you do your zikr or your mantra right here on this finger, that's a mudra, but when you hit that nerve, Allah, 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 it's sending a direct current of God. It's like knocking on, hey, it's like you're sending a direct current to your heart to break through the cement that's there from your worldly experiences. So this la 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 la. When you start doing it, this is a jump start to get it going. But one day you'll be going to the kitchen to get some water and you'll hear la 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 going by itself. Or you'll be riding down the street, you won't be thinking, I want some Burger King, you'll hear la 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 going in the back of your mind. You're like, where's that going? When you start hearing it without you reciting it, then it's entered into your subconscious mind. And you will also start to hear la 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 in your dream states. You see people chanting la 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 in the dream state. Then it's in your subconscious mind. Now, once it gets to the subconscious mind and the heart are some way intertwined. The subconscious mind and your heart are connected. So once it goes in the subconscious mind, it can get into the heart. Now, the heart is what we call the Kaaba. The Kaaba is the house of God. That they have an outer house in Mecca. People go to Mecca to travel to what's called the Kaaba, the outer house. But the world is a macrocosm for a microcosm. Everything outside in the universe has a representation inside of yourself. So because there's a Kaaba outside of you in Mecca, there must be a Kaaba inside of you, and that Kaaba is the heart. The seat of Allah's divine light is inside the heart of every human being. So once it gets to the subconscious mind, now it's entering into the heart. You have 4 chambers in the heart, and they all have to be cleaned by this la ilaha illallah. Meaning, it's like a half-off sale. Everything must go. In the Bible, they have the teaching, God is a jealous God. Well, jealousy is a sin, so how can God be jealous? God is not jealous. Allah just wants your entire self. He don't want you having other things inside of your heart. Allah's like, I live in this house. I don't want this car in here. I don't want this house in here. I don't want this job in here. I don't want this Timberlands in this. All that got to go. So you use the la ilaha illallah to clean the heart out. Sweeping the mind, I'm only thinking about Allah. Sweeping the heart, I'm only in love with Allah. Once you get to loving Allah and nothing else in your heart other than Allah, Hasbi Rabbi Jalallah, Mafi Kalbi Gairullah, only Allah is in my heart. Once you get to that point where Allah is the ruler of your heart, you can begin to purify the soul. Because there's no more obstacles between what you're saying. La ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah. Yeah, la ilaha illallah, but you still worship in your car. La ilaha illallah, you still worship in your job. La ilaha illallah. Oh my God, I got this nice job. I'm worshiping this position now.
Or you still see the prayer as being separate from yourself.
Yeah. So the true self, that is, one Sufi, Baal Muhammad, he says only Allah can worship Allah. So when you're saying this la 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 la, know that you have began to engage in the path of purifying the soul, going through purification of the conscious mind, subconscious mind, purifying the heart. Then once you get to the soul, there are 7 levels of the soul. And at the 7th level, you have extinction or wusul, oneness with Allah.
Is that in the book? That's
Some of that is explained in the book you got. Yeah, it's explained in there. I would recommend to read that book, Branches of Wisdom. I think the guy on the cover looked like me. I don't know why they keep putting my picture on these books, man. Why they keep putting my pictures on these books, man? But do you have any questions? Anybody?
I actually have to leave. I want to say thank you for the knowledge which you
Okay.
upon me.
Yeah, I mean, it's always good to meet you. And make sure you got his number.
I did. I got him locked in now.
Brother Jallo is a representative of the school. He can teach you. La 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 is the first station. Then there's other prayers. He'll teach you like the 4 short surahs. And I think not this Friday, maybe this Friday coming up. I don't know if you have Zoom. We're getting ready to start a class for new disciples, a class for new students. It's going to be on Friday nights, inshallah.
I'm definitely with it.
Friday nights on Zoom is, I think, what did we say, 7 p.m.? And study to show thyself approved, recite the La ilaha illallah. Please keep in contact with Brother Dallo. You have a wonderful representative of the school. And if you don't have any questions, I think it's a good place for you to start with La ilaha illallah. Then when you're ready, let him know if you want to take initiation into the school.
Okay.
We can arrange for you to be initiated to be a disciple of Sheikh Ahmed Bamba, who you saw in all white. This guy, you got some good karma.
Yeah, I've always, bro, like, one of the crazy stories I've always told people was there was a point in time when my brakes went out right before I hit the highway. Yeah, so I'm like, I know I'm divinely protected.
What?
Yeah.
Fall, y'all don't fall. Should keep it fall. So what happened when your break?
How long you been coming here?
Oh, yeah, I've been coming here since what? Like,
About
08?
About 8 years old.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
His mom used to bring him here all the time.
And then one day I just showed up
And now
here.
he come on his own.
Yeah.
So you have some good. You have roots here in Homeland Village in Macon, Georgia.
Pretty much, yeah.
Been coming since 8 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, whoa! This is like Mecca in the South.
It really is.
Like,
Like,
keep popping up. We sure gonna turn into that.
Yeah, it is. And anybody else want to speak on La 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 and the effects it will have once he start reciting it?
I would like to speak on it. I can recall when I first started practicing saying La ilaha illallah. It just sounds so good, right?
right.
But one day I was traveling to work, which I call a plantation, because it takes all our energy, right?
Yeah.
And I just was playing it on the radio because there's YouTube videos of different groups saying La ilaha illallah, right? And I was screaming at the top of my lungs because I knew this couldn't be my reality. Like every day, paying a toll, paying gas, fighting for parking in New York City. You know, I was like, this can't be life. And I screamed it at the top of my lungs. And when I did, I had an opening. In the opening, I started crying because it became a reality to me that nothing mattered. My boss doesn't matter. My coworkers that get on my nerves, they don't matter. You get what I'm saying? Nothing matters except Allah. And I really made the connection. So nothing could faze me. I didn't care what nobody did to me at the job, right? When I walk into the facility, we have to wait for the guards to let us in. And they would take their time, answer their phones, act like they're busy, right? I just started zikkering. Now all of a sudden they let me in real fast, you know. They're like, oh,
Get her out of here. Yeah, we don't know what she's doing.
She
might be putting a spell on us. All of you die. All of you die. All of you die. They was opening the door fast.
Yes, fast. Like, no, please let her through. Please let her through.
Wow.
But it became like a coping mechanism to know that this is just an illusion, right? and we have something that we're connected to that's greater. And all I have to do is just say it to remind myself. Yeah.
It's almost, it can only be vaguely described and experienced, because some of the way these practices hit people, sometimes you can't do anything but just and crying, trying to keep it in because of what happened. But when most people come into esoteric paths, they go looking for just instantly, but don't realize it's a process to get to it. But like the Sheikh said and the sister said, once you get to a certain point with it, it can be done so many ways. You'll say La ilaha illallah consciously. The subconscious is listening to it over and over. Well, after your consciousness says it to your subconsciousness so many times, you tire of saying it. Well, at one point, some people get to a point where they may get tired of saying it, or they just cease altogether and get fully immersed in it when it starts to talk back to you for the subconscious as a reminder. So now most people may not even need the beads as a reminder, because they themselves are that reminder. La ilaha illallah, there's nothing but that one thing, and that one thing is in you, it's in him, it's in her, and him. It's in those trees outside, it's in the grass, it's in those ants on the ground, it's in that wood, everywhere. This process brings us right back to it.
You said it was like, and that is true. You know, I've seen that in a Gray's Book of Anatomy, where it talks about the 4 chambers in the heart. But I guess what is it? Hawa doing it?
Naps and
is that 4 or is that 5?
It's 4 of them, 4 enemies. Yeah.
Right. And it's 4 chambers, 25,000, you know, in each one till you get to 100. Each heartbeat, and you battling those 4.
It speaks on that in the book that, you know, straight as the gate, narrows the way, and few be there who find it. It'd be too easy if there were no obstacles to reach Allah.
Right.
That'd be like you just drink your coffee and eat some ice cream and cake and become a divine being. No, it don't work like that. There's always, what they say, a warrior never knows her strength or his strength until they face a foe, an enemy. Yeah, so our teacher says to reach Allah, there's 4 main roadblocks or 4 main enemies, which are your lower self, passions and desires, the attraction to materialism in the world, and the shaitan, or the negative energy. All 4 of these are roadblocks. The nafs is your lower self, and our teacher Sheikh Ahmed Bami says, in order to defeat the nafs, in order to defeat your lower qualities, you have to fast. Like, one of the main teachings in our school is eat less, sleep less, and talk less. Eat less, sleep less, and talk less. Instead of eating 4 pieces of chicken, eat 2.
Okay.
Instead of sleeping for 12 hours at night, sleep for 7. Instead of talking all day on the phone, talk some and do some prayer some.
Okay.
If you could remember that, that's a lot. He said, eat less. That struck a nerve. Why?
I mean, I like to eat, and isn't rest good for the body?
Yeah, I love going to the buffet. Who are you talking to? I love to eat too.
Right.
But in order to, the mystics in West Africa told me a full bird can't fly.
Oh, yo, you right.
A full bird can't fly. So once you cut back on your eating, most of the energy in the body is going to digest the food. But once you cut back on that that eating, that energy can go towards other things such as cultivation or spirituality, instead of, you know what they say, you ate the food and got the itis.
Yeah.
You ate the food and put the bees down and went to sleep. Like,
Yeah.
what? Man, I just had me 10 cheeseburgers. What you talking about? Lie. I'll get to that tomorrow. But so, Nash, cut back on the eating. Fasting, meaning have some days where you don't eat as much as you normally do.
Okay.
Have some days where you don't eat as much as you normally do. Shame. Everybody knows your name. Nobody needs to eat 3 times a day. 3 times a day is too much. 3 times a day is too much. You ever, we practice Islam. I don't know if you ever heard of something called Ramadan. Ramadan is a 30-day fast where you only eat and drink in the morning before sunrise, don't eat or drink during the day, and then you eat and drink when the sun goes down.
Okay.
So you come out to be eating 1 meal a day. And you find out when I eat 1 time a day, I have more energy. Oh, water is the spice of life. When I eat 1 meal a day, I have more energy. When I eat more food, I have less energy. It sounds funny, don't it?
Yeah.
But once you start to eat less, you will see that you will have more energy. So that's fighting the lower self is fasting, not eating as much. That's the main thing. Work on controlling your stomach.
Okay.
Don't let your stomach control you.
Yeah, I got a problem with that.
99.9% of human beings cannot control their stomachs. Their stomachs control them. But if you can master the stomach, that means you're mastering some aspects of yourself that will lead to self-mastery just by mastering your levels of food intake. Don't. What does the Sheikh say? The Sheikh says, the teacher says, only eat when you're hungry.
Well, what if you're hungry all the time?
Then try to eat smaller amounts.
Okay.
Prophet Muhammad said, Prophet Muhammad says, food for 1 person is enough for 2 people.
And we've seen that. We've been in
Food
the
for
dharma.
1 person is enough for 2 people.
Because we have to learn the difference between appetite and hunger.
Mm-hmm.
And that fire.
Yes.
Soul and fire. Agni. That's what the Hindus say.
Mm-hmm.
And we've gathered and say we had meals for 4 people, and 12 people showed up, and it was still enough.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hello.
Hello, how y'all doing?
Greetings. Good.
I guess to piggyback off that, the story where you
Yeah,
say
go
you
ahead.
fed the multitude with a few fish.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was just thinking about that too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The food we eat for 1 person is enough for 2 people. You just pay attention and say, I can cut back on what I'm eating. In the word diet, what's the root word of diet?
Die.
Die. D-I-E-T.
Yeah.
The root word in there is die. The food people are eating is killing them. It's causing them to die.
Right.
Their diet is causing them to die. That ain't even a deep concept.
Right.
D-I-E-T got the word die right there. So eat less, sleep less, talk less. If you just did that part, study the book you have, recite the la ilaha illallah, and do more good than negative.
Gotcha.
Our way is saying, in the Holy Quran, Allah says, if you do a bad deed, a negative deed, create negative karma, Allah says, rush and do a good deed to outweigh it. What people don't know is every la ilaha illallah counts as a good deed. As a matter of fact, it's 12 letters in la ilaha illallah. Every la ilaha illallah counts as 120 good deeds. Each letter is worth 10 good deeds. So this la ilaha illallah is so heavy on the scale. If you're reciting la ilaha illallah every day and you make some mistakes, the karmic debt of your mistakes will never outweigh your recitation of la ilaha illallah. You'll always be in the green, so to speak, because there's not nothing you could do to outweigh la ilaha illallah as far as something negative. Because Prophet Muhammad alayhi salam, he said, if you take everything in the world and put it on one side of the scale, You put la ilaha illallah on the other side of the scale, la ilaha illallah would outweigh everything in the universe. Because I know it's your first day hearing la ilaha illallah, but it's heavy. It's heavy. It's heavy. To say there's no God but Allah, there's none worthy of worship but Allah. Do you know, I don't want to say all this, but 9 out of 10 people that look like this, we was Muslims before we got off them slave ships. That's a missing piece of history they don't want to tell you. Islam is in our DNA. If you go find out, do we have that Bible in West Africa where we came from?
Nope.
We ain't had no Bible. People don't even think about that. What was we doing before we got on those boats? The Bible is a book of slavery. Them devils, they wouldn't let you read nothing. What's the only book they would let you read?
Bible.
So if the Bible was something that could give you freedom,
First, they wouldn't even let that shit.
they wouldn't let you read it. You see, the Bible is keeping people enslaved because we did not have that practice until we got over here. What was you saying? Go ahead, bro.
I'm sorry. No, I was just saying at first they wouldn't even let us read that.
Dang.
They had to undo so much of it. Then they gave it to us.
Oh.
And they're still undoing it now.
Mm-hmm. So, basically everything you learn from the Western society is wrong. Do you know there's no such thing as death?
I've heard, yeah.
Yeah, death is an illusionary concept taught by people who don't know about life. You ever heard what they call the cycle of life?
Yeah.
The cycle has no beginning and no ending.
Right.
We are immortal beings that look like we have a lifespan. But since everything in this time frame is backwards, what they call in birth is actually death. And what we call in death is actually birth. Your soul that's animating your body was an omnipresent being before it came to inhabit this body. So when the soul goes into the fetus, that's actually the death of the soul.
It's confined.
When it's confined and limited.
Yeah.
And when people so-called die, that's the birth of the soul back into the world that it came from. So even our concepts of birth and death is backwards. So if you ain't even got the concepts of birth and death correct, then everything in between there is probably a little bit off too. You know? So we have to relearn everything, especially when it comes to knowledge of self and knowing about God. The greatest thing you can know is yourself. They say the greatest question is, who am I? The greatest question is, who am I? If somebody asks you, who are you, what would you say?
I'm me. Like,
Who is me?
oh, I'll say my name, Tashari.
Your name is Tashar.
Yeah.
Y'all want to go to the doctor?
Where's Tashar from?
You don't do nothing.
Texas.
You from Texas? That's it.
Well, you're not going to get as much out of this, so are you?
That's what they program us to
Right.
respond, right?
Every answer you gave me is incorrect.
I figured.
Every answer you gave me is incorrect. But because of conditioning, my name used to be Forrest Gump. I'm just giving any of these names.
Yeah.
Oh, they got a teaching that say, if you walking through your kitchen at night and you see a rope on the floor and you think it's a snake, there's a snake in my house. You turn on the light and find out it's a snake. You turn on the light and find out it's a rope. Did the snake ever exist?
No.
It never existed. Most of these concepts we have as reality never exist. They're not even real. Once you turn the light of Allah on that, you say, wait, my name ain't Forrest Gump. I ain't from no Texas. My name is Allah, and I'm from Allah. My name is God, and I'm from God. That's the real. In the Old Testament, what's God's name? I am. I am that I am. He trying to tell you. If God, it can't really get no more elementary than that. If God say, my name is I am, and you say I am, this is a hidden teaching in this I am that I am. any being that has consciousness that can say the words I am is a divine being. I am is only stated by divine beings. The trees don't say I am, the dogs don't say I am, the fish don't say I am. The only being that says I am is Allah, and that Allah is saying I am through you. The only thing that is proper to come after I am is Allah. I am Tony, I am Jennifer, I am Tom, I am Jane, I am... No. But we forgot that we were divine beings, because when we came in this physical world, we came from the world of light to this physical plane, and the body became a cage for the soul. And the soul started to identify with the body. And our society started to give us labels. Oh, you're a Christian, you're a Muslim, you're a Buddhist, you're a man, you're a woman. Oh, you're black, you're white, you're Hispanic. They started giving us all these labels to where these labels put you in a mental prison. What did Malcolm X was giving a lecture at Harvard, and he told the people in the audience, I was in prison, and the people looked and said, oh. He said, don't be shocked if I say I'm in prison. He said, don't be shocked if I said I was in prison. He said, as long as you're in America, you're in prison. But that's a whole nother political teaching. But as long as your consciousness is localized in the body, you're in prison. As long as you have these false ideas and false doctrines, you're in prison. You might have to go. Yeah. Are we talking too much?
Yeah.
Brother,
I'm going to get the book, man.
Thank you so much. Touch with Brother Java. Peace and blessings. All right. You got good karma just by showing up today.
Thank you, man.
I mean.
I'll ring you out real quick.
This has been some good conversations with God. Does anybody have a question they want to ask? I see Nasir in Philly is with us. The new Umi in Atlanta is with us. Somebody left a comment. Sheikh Caleb Fall is here. I even saw Sheikh Ba up in New York was here.
Wow. My crew.
All praises due to Allah. Who else? I don't know who else is here. I can't see all the names. Okay. Anybody have a question or a comment before we close out?
Just pray I can take these teachings on the road with me and take them back to my my tent.
For sure. Conversations with God. Man, this phone is on fire. Ooh, I definitely need to turn it off.